Hi, Nick Collier here, and this is my shop. Come join me. We'll have some fun.
Okay, Nick Collier here, and we've got another project that I really don't want to do, but since it's my saw, and a couple of minutes ago I heard an unfamiliar snap, and I thought, well, maybe the blade broke, and I've never had a blade break on these saws, or this saw, and I opened the hood, and sure enough, my shaft has broken. Oh man, I am bummed. And it's right in the middle of a job, of course, and I need the saw desperately because I have to cut 10 of these little segments, and I'm not sure what to do with that. I may take it over to a buddy and have him cut them. But at the same time, I've got to pull the gearbox. I got to figure out what's going to happen here. I mean, you got to look at it. The gearbox is behind there, and that shaft is broken off right on the you know, right up close to the bearing and everything. So I may have to take the whole thing apart and make a brand new gear. I'm not sure. I don't want to do it. Well, one thing we got is a nut or a bolt that, oh, it's a stud. Interesting. Well, that makes it easy. Now the gearbox is very hot, so I'm afeared that the damn thing is out of oil and maybe it's jammed up. I don't know. But one thing nice is it comes out pretty easy. And there it is right there. Hotter than a pistol. Worst comes to worst, this is a gearbox that I see on eBay all the time. We might be able to just replace it. Alright, so we got the gearbox out. We got it sitting up here. We unscrewed or unbolted it. Now we're going to see if we can pop this little cap off without destroying the gasket. I'm sure there's no way to get a gasket for this. This thing's probably about 50 years old. Well, there was plenty of oil in it. That's good to know. Damn, if the oil doesn't look pretty good, too. Oh, man. This doesn't look good, though. It looks like we've got bearings and all kinds of stuff. I'm gonna, let's do this first. So let's get rid of the oil first. Hell, it might just come straight up. Put that right there. Look at that. Not bad, not bad. All right, we're gonna put this down because it's hot. Yeah, it broke right off at the at the worst spot. But I'm thinking for a quick fix that we just prep this and weld it and remachine it smaller. I mean, if this whole thing turns at about, oh, I don't know what, 10, 12 RPM, so it's going pretty slow. We'll pull this bearing off. We'll throw a weld on that. Let me get that other part off. Now my fear is that it's cast iron, and I believe it is. And that won't be exactly what I was hoping for, but I think what we can do is let's see if we can come up with a piece of brass or something. Put that right there. Well, it's definitely in there tight. There's our key, and there's our shaft. I don't know, it's a little bit too shiny for cast iron. So we might actually be dealing with some kind of steel. And it looks like that thing's been breaking for a long time. I mean, there's the final snap right there. So this has been just giving way very slowly, and the reason, right there, a sharp edge. Where's our gear? Yeah, I don't know why, but somebody dropped a sharp edge right in there. Maybe it's a spring keeper. Let's go see if one's laying around. So it looks like this is not cast iron. That's just too shiny. Cast will never be that way. So I'm guessing that we've got some kind of steel in here. Hardened, I would think. Not hardened, but carbon. So that might be where it was. So I'm thinking we just go in, we square that off as much as we can, we square this off as much as we can, and we put a V on those. Yeah, it was some kind of a something. I don't understand why it was there. I guess we better answer the phone. Okay, here's what we're going to try, because I cannot get those bearings to pop. It's nice and cool now, and so I'm going to heat this bearing up. Let's get this out here. And put just a little bit of pressure on it, like say with a, nope, not that. Let me go get a crescent wrench that'll work. And we're going to hope that we're not going to hurt the bearing. Okay, that's good. Because if we do, I got to buy a new bearing. And I really don't want to. All right, let's fire this baby up and see what we can come up with here. Well, that didn't exactly work. I was hoping. And we pretty much wiped out the bearing. I mean, it's still usable. Remember, this thing's traveling about 6 RPM. We'll see how it goes. Boy, I'm not seeing any give. I'm seeing a little bit of air between that, but I mean so little. It's hardly worth talking about. All right, we're going to have to take another approach. And I'm not sure what we're going to do. I'm thinking maybe something to clamp in there, to come in there and wedge that in and spread the bearing off. But that's another day. Did you not see any of that? You didn't. Ah! Oh well, that part. All right, well that didn't work, and I think I pretty much wiped out that bearing trying. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just cut the rollers off and go ahead and go in and heat up just the ring and see if it'll just drop off. So we'll go over to the grinder. Well, maybe we could just bring the grinder over here. Why not? Let's do that. All right, somehow the camera shut off. And you missed that really good part. No, I just took the bearings out. So let's get this up on top of here. Let's find something to grab it with just in case we need to kind of get just a little bit of that edge and pull down on it. Get the torch at the same time. Torch. I think these pliers might actually just do the trick. Yeah. Hopefully we're not going to need to pull down on it. All right. We're just going to heat this thing up until it gets so big it's just going to fall off. Oh, that worked. Come on. There it comes. Come on. Let's give it a try. Well, it did slip, just not very far. Let's try it again. Ah, that sucker ain't moving. All right, well, we have to let it rest, let it cool back down. I think what we'll do next is we'll take it and put it in the freezer, bring that everything down really cold, and then come back and flash heat that again. So that means we're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. But I can take this down to the house tonight and get that in the freezer. Okay, well, as you can see, this baby has been freezing all night long, and it's now the next morning, and let's see if we can get that thing off. All right, here we go. Don't look like it's coming. Jesus, I don't get it. Look at that. Okay, well, we're not completely done. Since I'm going to replace the bearing and I'm going to replace the shaft, and I'll have to replace this little sleeve, I think I can just come in with the grinder and just go zip, grind that back out and pop that thing, and then it'll slide off. At least one would hope. So that's what we're going to do next, but it's pretty early in the morning and I don't want to run that grinder this time of day. My wife will kill me. So we're going to do quieter work, and once we get into daytime, we'll go ahead and take this to the next step. See you then. All right, well, since we've got to replace the bearing for sure and the shaft, which broke, and this is a sleeve. I mean, the bearing did move just a little bit. I mean, like, oh God, so little. So I think I can replace the sleeve without too much problem. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with my cutoff saw and cut the bearing in half so it'll slide off. And then I can get everything else off and we can machine a new shaft. All right, hold your ears. There we go. And even then, it's hard to get off. I can't believe this bearing. Okay, we got that off, and really we could still continue to use this because it's just
small notch. No big deal. All right, so now we're gonna put this in the press. It looks to me like this is just one single shaft with that other piece coming off of it like that. So that's not too bad. So we're going to put this in the press and see if this will press off. Now the problem is that this is warm now, so that means the brass is going to be a little bit tight. So I think what we're going to do is let this cool down a bit. Probably just drop it in water. Okay, so we got it in the press, and you know, I'm afraid that other bearing is so tight that it's not going to come out. But you know, let's just, we've got, at least now we have a push. So it's not going to be as bad. Let's see how we do. Well, I'm telling you, it was tight, but it did come out, so we're in pretty good shape. Okay, so we've got a, I don't know what size shaft it is. Let's look, have a look and see. I'm thinking 7/8 or something like that. 1 inch. Okay, so we've got a 1 inch shaft, and how long is it? Ouch. A little over 7 inches, so we're going to cut an 8-inch piece, and we're looking for some pretty stout material, 8 inches at 1 inch. Let's go back to the so here we are in the back part of the shop. This is all scrap material, as you can see, but it's all 8620, 4140, 4145. Some pretty heavy duty stuff, and we're gonna dig through here what we're gonna come up with. Oh man, I was hoping that was longer. That would have been just about right. And I stamp all of mine, so that's 8620, but it's about 6 inches too short. I'm not seeing anything, so I guess I'm gonna have to order a piece, and we're gonna have to wait a couple of days for it to get here, and I will be back, I promise. Okay, we're back, and it's only taken about a week and a half to get this piece of steel. I actually ordered it off of eBay from some company down in LA. It took them literally a week to put it in the mail. During that time I said, well, screw this. So I called up McMaster-Carr. They had this piece the next morning, so, and it was for like $1.50 more. Come on. I just got to keep confirming that McMaster-Carr is the one. So anyhow, we're here. We've got it. We're gonna get moving on it. And can you see? Oh yeah, there we are. So we've got about a foot of material. This is 4140. We're gonna throw it in the chuck, come in, put a center in there, and drag it out to about here and start cutting our shape, or our sizes. So hang in there with me. We're gonna have some fun. And
we're ready to roll. Okay, here's our piece, and basically we're going to need to go to there. And let's give it a little bit extra just for fun. Well, not exactly the surface I'm looking for, so I'm guessing that my insert is chewed up in some way or another. Oh, I would say, holy guacamole. All right, let's trade out inserts. This one's completely chewed. Out with the old, in with the new. Let's hopefully come up with a reasonable surface. And we're supposed to be at 1 inch, and we are at 108 thousandths. So we got a ways to go. All right, that looks better. Yeah, much smoother.